Okay, now this is serious though.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
were either one of you at Dr. Chang's State of the Union address for the university?
I saw the first half hour, something like that.
Well, in that speech, she kind of made reference to maybe doing a little more outreach and listening to what students have to say. And I hate to put you on the spot, but what would you like to see here at the university? Do you love the place? Is everything great, or do you have any issues? Who would like to go first? You got a problem?
I'll go first. Well, you see, I just saw a DE article today that stated that they would like to advertise the school and talk about how much of a quality education program we have and how much educational services we have. I think if they're going to do that, the first thing they should do is give the educational services back and make the program's quality again before they can advertise them as such. Otherwise, it's just false advertising, and you're duping a bunch of students in for no reason.
Do you agree or you disagree? I don't know.
In general, yeah, I would agree with that.
So, do you have some issues, or I mean, is everything great for you?
You asked something about improvements or what you would like to see.
Well, that's what she was just kind of saying, that they've hired this advertising firm and they're going to start listening to what students say.
Yeah, the outreach thing that you were talking about, I would say it would be awesome to, for as much as we're paying the administrators, to actually see them and talk to them like on a regular basis, to have some sort of rapport with them. Because when I go into an office and I talk to students who don't even know their jobs, or they can't. I mean, it's not their fault. They've been there for 2 weeks or something, and I don't see like people who are actually getting paid for those jobs. That kind of irritates me. I mean, I would just like to.
Do you have a specific situation that like to articulate what you're trying to say?
I mean, I could give specific examples. It's just nearly every time I go into an office, especially like the Bursar or financial aid, anything like that, like anything with money, monetary issues, it's like, oh yeah, we can't do that, or they make something up on the spot because they want to seem like they know something, and then, okay, can I talk to your supervisor?
What could the university do to make that better? Is that just the way the system is, or?
Well, I mean, it is just the way the system is now. But if Rita Chang is talking about some sort of outreach, how about instead of like having some office in God knows where, you just have, okay, this is the chancellor's office. If you have issues, talk to her about it. Like let's actually have some sort of relationship.
You mean students actually be able to go and see her?
Yeah, that would be great. Like to talk to the administrators that they're paying. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Huh.
Sounds like you're talking about the hiring process of people that you had been talking to, whoever it was that was turning you away or not giving you the correct answers and stuff. You're talking about going up the ladder like, you're not giving me a good answer with what I need to know, so who can I talk to?
Yeah.
But those people are paid to give you those answers,
exactly.
So I think the hiring process is flawed.
Well, I think it works perfectly for the system as it works right now, because it does work for them, where people who are hired
so what would
don't
you
have to deal
recommend,
with
that they have an open door policy?
It doesn't work for me. No, it's not a good system
But they
for
should
me.
change it so that it
because
does.
it is for the
That's what
students,
she's
yeah.
asking for.
Yeah,
you know?
that
That's
would be
change.
awesome. If we
And
could.
you, like, any last words to Dr. Chang?
Well, my last words would be, a student shouldn't have to sit in fear in their class that their class is going to fall apart around them. There's a lot of these older buildings, such as the inside of Feiner and WAM and parts of Pulliam, where the buildings just really kind of seem to be falling apart. Before we build any more alumni centers or welcome centers that were based off a 10-year-old document of when this university was flourishing, how about we use that money instead to first fix the buildings that we're learning in, so they're not going to fall apart around us, and then whenever we become prosperous again, prosperous, there we go. I get jumbled up sometimes. Once we become prosperous again, then we could take this money and put it back into the welcome centers and alumni centers.
And then, I mean, the projects like the alumni centers, it's money coming from.
Well, they would
alumni
say that alumni money is the alumnus's money.
Exactly,
and
but
it's
maybe they're
nothing.
not informed as to the condition of our classrooms. Maybe it would, if if they knew that things are falling from the ceiling and stuff like that, then they would be more inclined to say, oh, okay, let's put our money towards that because that's where the need is. You know, there was a bake sale last week of the SIU's like dance troupe, and they were raising money so that they could fix like the auditorium because it literally was falling on dancers.
Seriously?
Yeah, and they didn't have time to wait for the paperwork to go through.
Students raising money to fix a
A bake sale to, yeah.
Students raising money to fix the university when the university should be using their money to fix it first.
Right.
Well, any last words to Dr. Chang?
Well, I hope they're not last words.
Well, there you go. Okay, so you'd like to meet with her maybe?
Yeah, no, we've got a meeting with her, right? Or are we still working on scheduling that?
I think that they're working on that. So say I'd like to meet with her then, maybe.
Yeah, I'd love to meet with her.
Cool. Terry, what do you have to say about SIU? Anything exciting?
It sucks. The curriculum sucks.
You really mean that?
Certain curriculum sucks.
Certain? Like, you were here many, many years ago, weren't you? Weren't you here back in the 60s?
Yeah.
And what's changed in 50 years almost?
The physical part of the thing, there was no coming from Allen Hall and then places over there, University Park, I think they call it. There was no over the road thing. It was a life and death struggle every morning getting across that road.
So it's better. That part of it's better?
Is better.
That part of it's better. Do you feel like, you know, the educational quality is the same, or?
Yes, but I have noticed it in the last, since 40-some years ago. The
very dilapidated, run down, either too hot, too
how they
cold.
teach classes is different. Like my geography class is now a sociology class.
Right, right. So if you could tell the chancellor one thing, or a couple things, what would you say to her about where the university's at and where it needs to go? Is it all 100% okay? Or?
I think the main thing is they need to fix up all the buildings so they don't leak. I know they're in the process, but they've been doing that for 5 years.
So fix the facilities before they build new ones?
Yeah. And Fainer, this is my 5th year going here, and in 5 years, the clocks in Fainer have never, ever been the same.
I guess they expect this younger generation to all have their own, but you have a watch on though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Terry. Okay.